Take.
We're here to talk about recaps from the second trimester because we have just left the second trimester, which means we're in the final round.
The deuce is
Ding, ding,
loose.
ding, ding, ding. What the hell does that mean?
I don't know.
The deuce? I've never heard that.
The deuce is
What is
loose. I don't remember.
Did you make that up or is that something?
I don't know. I think it's something.
Okay. You want to start on your most noteworthy mentions?
The biggest
of the
thing,
second
yeah,
trimester?
sure. The biggest thing for me with the second trimester is the movement, is Cub's movement, and being able to feel the movement and even see it the last few weeks.
See it.
I feel more connected because you can feel, you know, it's like really there, like it's a real human in there. It's crazy. So that's been really fun for me, for sure. What's your biggest takeaway?
Baby movement for sure has to be as well for me.
Yeah, she'll like react to it. Like she'll be sitting there, she'll go like. It's like when you're at the doctor and they hit your knee and your leg kicks. I'm shaking the table.
I feel very reactive to it. I feel very
like you got a subwoofer in there, just like boom.
It feels loud. This is the example that I'm really happy to have thought it out. I call baby's movements little thunderstorms. First of all, you may not know that he's obsessed with weather and he loves watching weather and he loves watching thunderstorms, lightning, and
I'm technically a certified broadcast meteorologist.
so it's
not that I remember any of that because it was a while ago, but I do still love the weather.
It's a term of endearment because maybe somebody might not feel warm and fuzzy when they would call something a thunderstorm. Maybe they would feel more afraid, but he's taught me to embrace weather in a different way and look at it in a beautiful sense. So when I say it's like thunderstorms, I'm not saying it from a fear-based place. I'm saying it from something that actually is really sentimental for the two of us and for him.
Because thunderstorms are awesome.
But it feels, if you were to look at a thundercloud, so you're not seeing strikes of lightning coming out. Oh, a lightning cloud or thundercloud? But like you don't see the like the strong, you're just looking at this cloud and it almost looks like it's rumbling and moving, like just because of the way the light pattern shifts around the cloud and you see these different dimensions of the cloud and the light hits it weird ways and it almost makes you this feels like what that cloud looks like. You can feel the child. We can feel the body parts. Not like I'm able to touch and say, oh, that's a hand or that's an elbow, that's a head, but sometimes I'm like, that's either the head or the butt because it's big and it's like hard. And you know, you touch the top of the belly here and it feels like a soft water balloon. You're like, boing, boing, boing. And then all of a sudden, sometimes you'll feel the baby's head just like protrude into that water balloon. And then all of a sudden it's stiff. And you're like, oh,
right here.
You feel it.
Yeah, oh, went back down.
Feeling the movement, feeling that connection, and then also having the three of us be able to be a part of that connection together because there's not many other things that I can feel that he can actually feel.
Yeah.
So it's...
Thankfully. For most of those things.
So it's really this like beautiful, I mean, wherever we are, I'll just say thunderstorm or I'll grab his hand or I'll just say Cubs moving and then no matter what conversation we're in, no matter where we are, it's like silence. We're just connecting, the three of us, and it's like been so beautiful.
It's really great.
It's been so beautiful. So that is a major takeaway of the second trimester. And I have to say, my sister would call the second trimester the honeymoon phase of the pregnancy, where she would tell me, you know, you're just gonna not really remember you're pregnant, but then all of a sudden your belly's gonna run into things. You're like, oh my, I'm bigger. And that definitely has been what's happened. Like I try to get through spaces that I would normally get through and I can't. Or I think I can like suck in my stomach to fit through a space. I can't.
Or you get off balance when you don't think you should be.
I definitely get off balance a little bit. I also, you know, I find myself kind of waddling with a walk, but I don't have to. It's not like I know that my body can walk normal. You get into this like comfort zone because I'm
But
not.
your normal walk is already turned out a little bit.
My normal walk already has this dancer action happening. I'm just constantly thinking like, oh, I need to make room for. I don't know. How do you not walk wide all the time, making room for things? I don't even have anything between my legs, but I'm like, I don't know, walking like I do. It's weird. That must be weird. Is it interesting?
No.
Does it like brush when you walk?
If I wasn't wearing underwear, perhaps.
I wonder how people feel that don't wear underwear. I think it's very fascinating. The other thing has been my memory, right?
I don't know.
What would you say, like from witnessing
I just think it's
it?
like brain fog. Like, speaking, mixing words more often, just losing your place more often.
Losing my place speaking?
Yeah, like losing
Yeah.
your train of thought. Yeah.
I've just never, people use this phrase, brain frog or pregnancy brain,
So
and
you just said brain frog.
I did?
Yeah.
Brain frog. Brain fog.
That was really
Perfect timed.
She's a great actress.
I've never understood what that, if I've felt that before. I never thought that I would be in this place where I'm like, yeah, maybe this is what brain fog feels like.
Yeah.
Maybe this is what the pregnancy brain is that they're talking about. Because I just, especially with dance, like, when I'm shooting these tutorials, I'm shooting content that I know so well. I know this dance, I know, and then I'm stopping 8, 9, 10 times throughout the tutorials, and I just, like, oh, does this count? And I just go blank, and then it takes me a while to like go back, and it's very interesting. It's very interesting.
It's time to bring in assistance.
Yes, that's happening for sure. 3rd trimester will be no more heels.
Less dancing. Yes.
No more heels and more help.
Yes.
Yeah. And yeah.
Which is great.
Yeah, it is. Food, like, not a thing. No cravings, no like,
yeah, that's true.
no, like eating whatever. I'm eating how I would normally eat before pregnancy, which was very different for the 1st trimester. I was really frustrated with myself during the 1st trimester because I wasn't gravitating toward the healthy foods that I know are so great for me and that I've always loved. And 2nd trimester has been, I want it all. I want the salads, I want the veggies, I want all like my normal food, which has been a really great feeling to have. And really no cravings. So that's been interesting because people are always asking me, do you have any cravings? I'm like, no.
Yeah.
No. The other thing I will say is like clothing wise for me, the 2nd trimester, I've been able to wear a lot. I've been able to repurpose a lot of my clothing. A lot of the clothing I had in my closet. That was pretty impressive. I was proud of myself for that. From your perspective on maybe just witnessing me, or what has it been like for you the last 3 months of that?
Most recently, I've just been worried about you because you're worried about the shower, the baby shower, and like stressing about that and putting in too much work. I shouldn't say too much. Putting in more work than, well, when you get into something like that, the rest of your life disappears. So you won't eat, you won't take
Not that
breaks.
I won't eat, I just won't eat as normally
you
as
will wait,
I would.
like you won't even pee until you can barely stand it anymore.
Yeah.
She's one of those like single-minded, like blinders on when she's into something. She doesn't want to stop doing it. So I'm making the food, and like reminding her to eat and all those things, and I've just been wishing that you would take care of yourself a little bit more, and I think that will start happening now because at least the invites are out, and now it's just continuing to increase the amount of things on the registry, which isn't as big of a deal.
I mean, we had an appointment with our midwife today, and this came up because, we've been seeing her for quite some time now, and so now she's just like tracking patterns with me, especially, and with us, because we always go together. I've never gone to see her by myself, so she is understanding the dynamic of us as a family, which is really beautiful. And she, just voiced her concern today about me, wanting me to create more balance in my daily for self-care. And it's frustrating to me because it is something that is of utmost importance to me. It is something I talk about all the time. It's something that I understand, and I I intellectually understand at a deep level, and it's something that I've understood tangibly as well. It's something that's been a key part of my life. Yet I can fluctuate so heavily in these phases of it's priority to do this workout and to eat every 2 hours, and my alarm is set, and I'm walking, and I'm drinking a lot of water, and like I get in these modes where that is such a priority, and then one thing comes in, and then I'm like, ugh, this is so important. I'm sure it would be a surprise for a lot of people to hear that from me, because it's something I'm so focused on and is so important to me, and has been a big catalyst of my life completely changing for the better, my health. And also, of course, in my brain, being pregnant, that in my head, like, then that's the most important thing, my body, my health. So, when it came up today in our session, and Bliss was telling me, it's really important for you, I'm like, yes. I know all this. You're preaching to the choir, yet I need to implement this ASAP. And then she said, and it's not fair to him. Because I was like, yes, he's like so on top of it, and I'm so grateful that he's constantly, reminding me to do this and helping me do this. And she's like, well, that's not really fair to him. And then I did see you get teary-eyed during that conversation, but I didn't know it was triggered from that particular thing. And then he told me later today, like, that really hit me when she said that. And before I let you go on about that, that's so important to me as well. Like, keeping our position equally balanced. Of course, there's going to be times when you're going to need to help me a little more, and I'm going to need to help you a little more. Of course, there's going to be that. But I don't want to ever rely on him for a skill set that I need to prioritize for myself. I don't want to ever rely on you for keeping me, like, that's not your job. Like, and so knowing that really affected you and made me also aware that, like, that feels like a burden for you. Not a burden, but that feels like a weight that you carry, that you're worried, if I wasn't here, if I wasn't doing that, what would she be doing? Would she be doing that? And that's not fair to you. Like she said, that's not fair.
And just to be transparent, this isn't like the newest thing in the world. It's been something that's been a give and take that we've had for a long time, which is, taking. This is different now because it's taking care of you. But then also involved in that is, if I'm doing the majority of the cooking, then I'm also doing the majority of the cleaning. That's the thing that's come up in the past, is cleaning and stuff. And I have felt sometimes like I'm a little alone in that department. And so adding then me wanting you to take care of yourself, obviously, for our family, I didn't expect it to hit me when she said that, but it did. And I guess I'm having those feelings as well during this period of time, which is feeling sometimes a little alone in certain aspects of our life together. And I know that it can be, everyone has things that they have strengths, and they have things that they get to work on throughout their life. And I know that I'm certainly not perfect, and although my mother would disagree, and that, I have things that I'm working on that are probably frustrations for you that I tend to repeat, consistently. And this is the thing for me with you.
Yeah. And the thing is, like, I see this period being romanticized through media as the woman's going through so much, and the guy should completely cater, or the partner should completely cater, because the person that's bearing the child is going through so much, and pamper them, and blah blah blah, and whether all that's beautiful to be taken care of in that way. But when in my position where I have the energy most of the time, I have the means, I have the capabilities to do more for myself, I don't want to just put that on him just because I'm pregnant, and I can do more.
And then what can happen is I can feel like, okay, sometimes I can feel like I'm training this behavior. Like, if I keep doing this, then what's your incentive to do it?
Yeah, and then it can switch into that's when it starts to switch into
resent.
The non-romantic the non-wife husband mode,
like the father.
and it turns into a parenting relationship, which is also something we're trying to work on, make sure we move away from, because that's where it goes into.
And you mean parenting, like me feeling like the parent of
To
you.
me, exactly. Like
Yes.
it becomes like the dynamic of us then shifts to like, you know, a parent-child relationship, which is Esther Perel. We learned from her. She's such an incredible relationship therapist and just therapist in general. But
This video brought to you by Esther Perel.
I would love to connect with Esther. Anyway, so I just think it's a really important thing that I'm experiencing to make sure, because I want, like, I don't want to do the cooking. I'm feeling in this, like, I just want him to do all the things. And
I feel like I'm doing all the things.
and so that's not fair. When I have the energy and I have the capabilities, and I do, and I want it to be not just like the boy who cries wolf, you know, like just saying I need this all the time. Then when I really do need it, then he starts to resent me when I really do need it. So, so you know, it's just so important to look that I want us to maintain the importance of looking at us as a dynamic. And not just, I'm bearing this baby, it's all about me. Like, it's such a team effort, and I'm just, when she said that, and when it broke your heart a little bit, you know, it also...
It didn't break my heart a little bit.
Well, it brought up, it hit you, and that hits me too, because I want this to be, you know, it's not just about me with this. It's like, so, and I want you to be involved as much as possible, but I don't want you to be the caregiver. Yeah, so... That's something that I'm really excited about to work on in the third trimester.
Thank you, babe.
Yeah. But we're in the third round.
Home stretch.
We're really...
We're rounding third base.
We're getting there.
Coming home.
Any more baseball analogies?
Nope.
Okay. Toodles.
Toodles.
Toodles.